what I really don't need is for me to be untying this white line while that anchor comes loose, and all that stored energy right there caused the anchor to impale me in my chest. That would be bad.
Welcome to Stir Crazy Sailing and Adventures. I'm Dennis. I left a career I enjoyed to pursue the activities that I love, with the aim of single-handing a sailboat from Lake Michigan to the Caribbean.
That's just a bad idea.
I expect some success
Not a job for a single-handed sailor.
and some failure along the way, but that's part of the adventure. I'll also share with you how I try to stay healthy and fit as I go. Having you along will make this trip even more fun. Thanks for joining me. The sail to finish the final leg of Lake Huron from Lexington down to Sarnia could not have been better. An offshore breeze made for gentle seas, and the boat practically sailed itself. It was nearly perfect. And ahead lay the St. Clair River and a journey through some narrow shipping lanes to Algonac. After such a great sail, I was ready to straddle the U.S. and Canadian waters down the St. Clair and through the busy commercial channels. With my less than official colors showing and eager to reach the next marina and get my bike off the boat.
Yeah. Sign of a good marina. No seagull poop on the docks. This place is clean. Love them or hate them, they're the answer so frequently. The other day I was so worried about a lack of extra hardware on my boat. Now I think I can resolve that issue. No sailing hardware at this location. Drag. So I rode my bike to the grocery store, got my ginger snaps, coffee, and all those things, left it in the basket, rode all the way back to the boat. My groceries are here. How I could get on my bike and ride a half mile and not realize I don't have my groceries with me is beyond me. Sometimes we need to pay attention to the little things to make sure that nothing big happens, because my head is up my, yeah. But I'm having fun, it's an adventure. I'm glad that I'm here, I'm glad you're here with me. I just need to stop being such a dip, and I'll stop being a dip when I get some rest. Back with the groceries, and I'm not going to make any major decisions tonight. If I can't remember to bring home the groceries, home sweet home. By the way, I love that boat. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. It's a great boat. I've got the opportunity for a leisurely departure today. Got current with me. One body of water to cross that may allow me to sail Lake St. Clair, but it looks like I'll be going right into the wind. It's good to get a good night's sleep last night. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the day with me. Beautiful, thank you so much. Man, what a beautiful day. Got my more official flag flying today. Couldn't quite bring myself to get rid of the flip-flops. I still need a Canadian flag for those waters. I guess the lack of a Canadian flag doesn't make me a mystery. It just makes me rude when in Canada without a Canadian flag above the US flag. Good luck. While coming out of Algonac, hit a low spot in the river. Whoa, it's a log. Yikes. Fortunately, it felt like a soft stop. And that should be marked. It says 14 feet of water there, and there's a huge, like, tree under there. Son of a gun. And that's another good reason why I want to go back to the commercial channel. I won't run into that kind of stuff there. So my unfortunate interaction with the submerged tree will be the subject of an inspection when I get a chance to go underneath the boat. Good thing it was a submerged tree. If it were not a submerged tree, that would be a bigger issue. But that reminds me of the book by Chris Van Allsburg, The Wreck of the Zephyr. If you've not read the children's book, The Wreck of the Zephyr, it's a wonderful, wonderful book. Chris Van Allsburg, also from Michigan. Freighter bearing down on me feels like something out of a James Bond movie. It's going to swallow me whole in its hull. There are so many boats here at the mouth of the Detroit River, I can't even believe it. The recreational boat drivers here go way closer to the freighters than I would ever feel comfortable doing, that's for sure. When I made friends in kindergarten with my buddy Paul, one of our earliest fantasies was to float down the Detroit River on a raft. I think we got the idea from Walt Disney's version of Tom Sawyer. It's one of my oldest memories. You've probably got ideas about adventures that go back to your childhood too. Glad to be blessed so that I can pursue my dreams. I hope that you can pursue yours sometime soon too. Don't give up. And on the other side of the river is Windsor, Ontario. I spent plenty of time there too. The drinking age is 19 there, I think still. When it was 21 in Michigan, of course, we wanted to go over there as boys and have adventures, and we did. Then actually not so far from here in Erie, Ontario is where I spent some of my summers with my cousins and my uncle and my aunt. Those are great memories. I wish that there were a way that I could stop in that port on my way across Lake Erie. I just don't think that I can. I don't think the weather's going to cooperate. General Motors is in that building, the Renaissance Center. It's a cool place. It meant a lot to Detroit when it was built back in the 70s. Crossing beneath the Ambassador Bridge between Detroit, Michigan and Windsor, Ontario. The nation's busiest crossing. It still makes me nervous. I know we've got clearance, but it still makes me nervous crossing under there. That mast still looks close to the bottom of that bridge. But another milestone, for sure. It's still spooky. Modern problems. I've got this guy about ready to pass me, and another one off in the distance about ready to pass him, and I'm trying to stay out of the shallows. 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 2 feet. Bad news to my right, and I just want to stay out of their way. And they're wondering what a sailboat is doing out here with a mountain bike on the back of it. So am I. I need to use my mountain bike. I love the sailing. That bike needs to be ridden. I'm maintaining my course. And so is my new friend. And I know he really does not want to become any closer with the friend coming toward him. Abracadabra, watch the ship appear from behind the other one. It's all too close for comfort for me. I'll be anchoring off Grosse Isle tonight, and I need to get the anchor ready. I've got the anchor chain lashed just for safety, and I'm going to release that now in case I have to drop anchor fairly quickly when I get to my destination, which I think is likely because of wind, depth, and current. So going up. Mischief managed. I'm dropping anchor about the time it gets dark, and I've got a commercial freighter coming up behind me, so I just want to be prepped before I have to get to the anchorage. Not a place I've anchored before. Never traveled these waters before. I'm discovering new things all the time. At 5 knots, you can't get into a lot of trouble fast. You also can't get out of trouble fast. So it's good to plan ahead, pay attention to charts, and I am so reliant on my technology. Man. Awesome anchorage last night. I'm floating in front of some of the more shishi homes on Grosse Isle. In the Detroit River. I've got a new app on my phone to help me identify where there could be ships in the channel that I have to go through that's fairly narrow on my way out to Lake Erie. Marine traffic. The marine traffic app on this phone will help me to identify how close a freighter is to being in the same spot as me at the same time. And then the potential for storms later today. So the idea is to get out there early. So the plan is to get to South Bass Island in Lake Erie and to Put-in Bay, a place I've not been, but it's supposed to be a fun place. Here's what the community looks like. Nice place. Beautiful morning. Well, the anchor line is going behind me. That's bad. It's either hung up on the keel or the prop. Yeah, the line is going around the keel, I think. Dang. It's not uncommon for anchor lines to get fouled when boats are anchored at night. If I cut the anchor line and have a buoy on it, I can at least go back and get it, I think. But the buoy would have to slide over my keel, and that's not likely. I've got a wing keel, I've got a horizontal surface, and that's why it's caught, probably. If I could get the line up on the port side, the side that the current is coming from, then I could tie the buoy there, cut it. That's the answer. I've got to somehow get that line up without diving in the water at 2.5 miles an hour current. I can't swim out of it, probably. Okay, so the best option for me to get that line down there that you can't see under the water, it's down about, I don't know, 8 feet. I can't reach it with my pole, is to use my auxiliary anchor. Drop it down there, hook it, bring it up. That may work. We'll see. Okay, so I've got my auxiliary anchor hooked on the line to pull it up. There's just so much force on it. It's a 22,000 pound boat, 20,000 pound boat, and the force of the current is even too much for me. Damn. I was able to snag the line at least. Part of my problem may be that I'm a guy, and I think I've got the strength to do this. A woman's approach, a woman who would be slight, would be smart and just cut it and deal with it. I feel like, this is Festivus or something, and I've got to show a feat of strength.
Did you think of the winch, stupid?
Man, here we go. Pretty soon you're going to hear airing of grievances, I think. Man, that is not coming. Okay. If I were not in current and if I had somebody else with me, I would go in the water. The answer is use the winch. Run the secondary anchor line to the winch. Winch it up without scratching up the boat too much. See if that works. The winch has a lot more power than I do. Let's see if that works. Think like a woman. A smart woman would not think about using her strength. She would think about using her brain and using the tools on board. I mean that, man. And I mean that with all respect, ladies. I should have come to this conclusion an hour ago. I'm going to cut the line in a moment, and we'll see if this goat rodeo can actually work out. God. Time! Oh, we still have issues here, huh? Oh, it's pinched in the secondary anchor. Oh, good gravy. If I can get this around the cleat up here, and we live to fight another day. Wow. Interesting. My buoy is already floating underneath the boat. I know. This winch has got a lot of pressure on it. That's stored energy, and stored energy is a bad thing. What I really don't need is for me to be untying this white line while that anchor comes loose, and all that stored energy right there caused the anchor to impale me in my chest. That would be bad. Stored energy is nothing to mess with. I'll release some pressure, pull up on the line. Okay. The anchor line is clear. Looks like we had partiers out here last night from the deep. Oh my God, we're free. See how far behind I am and how far I can get today. Good gravy. So I'm in the downbound trench on my way to Lake Erie, and I checked marine traffic, and there are no commercial vessels headed this way, which is good. But you can see that there isn't a lot of room for a big ship pushing a lot of water and me in here. So good to have technology apps to let me know where the commercial vessels are and whether or not I've got a 1,000-footer coming through. Good morning. Well, Lake Erie was supposed to be a rough part of the trip, and it has not disappointed. I've got in 2 reefs, and I'm still in the commercial shipping channel because in some places there's only 6 feet of water on either side of the shipping channel. The wind is right on my nose, and once I can turn southeast and head toward my destination, I think the boat's going to settle down into a groove and be just fine with 2 reefs in. Choppy waves on Lake Erie, and settling down a little bit. Only about 110% out on my Genoa, but I think the wind has stopped gusting too much over 20 on occasion, and I will now let out some of the Jenny. Maybe not. The wind is picking up again. We dropped below 5 knots for a moment, and now it's just picking up again. So I'll just stand pat and make way at 6 knots. A bit of a beat into our destination, but not a bad sail. It's comfortable. Quidden Bay, cute town, surprising rock outcroppings, and an homage to Shrek apparently. That's what I was thinking.
This was a long one because of all the obstacles I had to overcome. Thank you so much for hanging around until the end. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe if you plan on hanging around with the rest of the crew. Thanks again, I'll see you next week.